All right, we turn to Thursday. There's no Wednesday games, so we go right to Thursday, Thanksgiving night, and we have one game, and it's in the AAC, Navy and Memphis. Memphis, 6-point home favorites here, 59.5 the total in this game. Definitely some things we have to figure out before, determining just what we're going to do as far as betting this game is concerned. And obviously, we've talked about this, on the show for, at least a few weeks now. That Brendan Lewis, the quarterback for Memphis, he's been banged up. He's played through it. Looks like he's going to play through it once again here. He was in the game last week, obviously against East Carolina. Actually played okay, but costly interception right toward the end of that game. And obviously East Carolina was able to come back and win that game last week against Memphis 31-27. You just wonder for Memphis here. It is their final home game, obviously, of the season here at the Liberty Bowl. But, this is a team that had some aspirations to win the AAC title. This was a team that had aspirations to maybe be in the playoff, and all of that's gone right out the window. It was already looking bleak for them when they lost to UAB way back in mid-October. But these last two losses against Tulane and East Carolina have taken them right out of it. So, is the energy level there for Memphis for this final home game, knowing they're going to fall short of expectations? Meanwhile, you've got this Navy team coming off a really impressive 41-38 win over USF South Florida in their last game. The offense with a healthy Blake Horvath back at quarterback was able to work and get the job done moving the football. Obviously, when you look at this matchup, you have to consider what we have seen from these two teams obviously for Memphis as far as their ability to stop the run. And if you look at it, this is important. The run defense, the numbers for the full season for Memphis look pretty solid. 3.8 yards per carry allowed, 127 rushing yards per game allowed. Look at the last three games, though. Haven't been as good. This Memphis run defense. They've had more issues. So is this going to be an opportunity for Navy maybe to get a little bit going on the ground here in this game? And this has also been, if you go back historically, for some reason, this has been a thorn in the side, Navy, for this Memphis team. Just the last 2 years alone. Here at Memphis 2 years ago, Navy was an 11-point dog. They lost by 4. Competitive game. In fact, Navy outgained Memphis by 24 yards in that game. And then last year at Navy, 56-44 Navy, and they ripped Memphis for 566 yards. And also, that was a win outright as a dog. So 2-0 against the spread for Navy the last two meetings, both of them covering as dogs. I think Navy's the bet here for me, +6. I don't know where Memphis head's at. There's a team that thought maybe they'd win the conference, maybe they'd be in the playoff. No way that's happening now after the back-to-back losses. I think Navy, and with Navy and any service academy team, catching points, you're always going to get them playing hard. And now with a healthy Horvath, they showed what they're capable of. To put up 41 points and beat South Florida, that shows you how scary Navy can be when Horvath's right and he's healthy. And he's right and he's healthy right now. And he's coming off, both teams are off a bye, but the bye really helps Navy. It means Horvath can probably, look even stronger here. So I like this Navy side. Totals-wise, with FP Gotti in the chat saying he likes the over, I certainly wouldn't bet it under. That is for sure. Memphis has gone over in 4 straight games. The last 2 Navy games have seen 59 and 79 points. So, yeah, it's over or nothing for me with the total here. C-Mac, what do you think for Thursday night? Navy, Memphis.
To touch on the total, I think it could get there. Of course, Navy, they run it, but I think there's big plays. In that game last year
too on Thursday night, no issues.
Yeah. They're. He ran for over 200 yards. I think they ran almost for 400 yards. It was a beatdown. I'm sure Memphis remembers that. But I don't think this team's very good. One thing Memphis too, a little bit to the over. They should have no problem throwing the ball. Who's ever there, they should have success. It just seems, and if Navy's in this game, there's got to be some points, whether we can get here over the number. But I was definitely looking at that and leaning that way. I think it's Navy too. I just don't trust Memphis, a team that was really, really good and still is. They're 8-3 ATS. To start the year, they finally drop a couple. I just think this is a back and forth game, and I think Navy can run the football here. So I'm looking that way. My hatred of Memphis as a favorite always stays true. You know that. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's been a pretty constant theme on this show is that Memphis laying points is usually a no bueno.
When they're a dog, they've been excellent too. Yeah, when they're catching points.